Welcome everybody to the fifth and final event of the post-season LR event. So mid-season, because we're in between seasons, I suppose. But yeah, we're just waiting for the guys to get loaded in and everyone get comfortable. This is the final event of the post-season. We have got the inter-league event coming up on Saturday, which is just a 10v10 with SBRL. But yeah, this is the final ALR specific event, and we've got a few guys here who are looking to race in some classic cars, I believe. So yeah, we're going to have a few one-shot qualies, 5-lappers, various tracks, and we're going to change the classic car each track. So whoever the winner is, I believe, will be picking the car for the next track. So we're just waiting for the guys to get sorted. Just trying to find the thumbnail as well because I can't find it. Maybe it didn't do one. Yeah, I can't find the thumbnail, which is perfect. So we're just going to have to stick with it as we're going, as we stand anyway. But yeah, just waiting for the guys to load in and sort themselves out, and once they're sorted, we'll be able to carry on and crack on with the first race of this event. So it's going to be around Brazil in the 2010 Red Bull, the RB6, I believe it is. So yeah, just waiting for the guys to sort themselves out. We've got a one-shot quali here, so it will be a bit difficult to keep track of where people are on the one-shot quali, but we can get a good view of the RB6 as it goes around Brazil in the modern Brazil track, but of course with the classic cars, which is going to be taking up the whole of this event. And we're going to have the RB6 starting this race in Brazil, and then the winner of the race will get to choose which car they want for the next track, which I believe is Spain, but it's a random list, so we will find out what track it is. Curly Red has retired from the session, so unfortunately he will be starting last as it stands at the moment. But yeah, everyone coming around, setting a great time. Nigel has retired. Oh, there's a lot of people retired. I missed that completely. I need to get to the comment section. I can't quite find the thumbnail, which is really helpful. But across the line comes, I don't know who's going to be on pole. We're spectating Spud, but who's going to be on pole? It is Tango with a 11.4. So good time there from Tango. Tango on pole position as it stands in the very first race. A lot of people getting disqualified there, I believe, probably for cutting the track and invalidating their laps, unfortunately for them. But Tango is in pole position ahead of Spud by 3/10. Then comes Ayrton, and then comes Guna in P4. And then unfortunately Nigel, Dylan, Gordo and Curly Red got disqualified for invalidating their laps and not setting a competitive lap time, unfortunately for them. Just waiting for all of the guys to admire their qualifying times, those that set them, and then we'll crack on as Tango has left the session. He set the fastest lap in qualifying, and now he has lagged out, unfortunately for him, so he will need to get back in as soon as he can. But let me have a quick look. Let me mute my audio. Let me have a quick look and see what's going on in the comments. So Guna has said evening, Ayrton has put some sort of weird emoji, Dylan has said evening, Gordo has said evening, Tango has said good evening, and then Gordo has then said, will the thing be? Yes, it will be. Yes, the event, the interleague event on Saturday will be streamed on ALR, of course, as well. But anyway, we don't need to worry about that. We've got 5 red lights for the first race of the event, and the lights are out, and away we go. Tango, I believe, will probably be a very bad start, but looks like he's doing all right so far. Ayrton up into P2, getting a great start there, moving up 2 positions, as is Ayrton, all of them in the same car, of course, which is very nice to see. A bit strange to see, of course, not usually something that we regularly see in F1. We've only got 2 of the same car usually on the grid, but although being 10 of them. But yeah, around the around to Yunkao they come. I think that's Yunkao, or maybe it's the wrong bit. But anyway, I'll carry on with the next bit of the race. As into sector 2 they go, flying round, and we got some more people commenting. Yeah, so we've got people just joining late because they're really bad at timekeeping, it looks like. Got some Gordo, I think, off the track there. Gordo, yeah, dropping down to P8, and he's having to make a recovery. But everyone in equal cars, realistic performance should be pretty close together. Tango is back in the session, and he's blitzing it. He's off into the distance. No DRS, I don't believe, on these cars. When did DRS come in? I'm sorry. But I should have known that. Shouldn't I? But I really don't know. But yeah, it was somewhere around, I think 2012, wasn't it? But yeah, so it might not be any DRS on these cars, but we'll find out when DRS doesn't get enabled on lap 3. But yeah, Spud is fighting back to claim his P2 back from Ayrton, where he qualified, and he is up into P2 now as it stands. But Ayrton will be on the back of him down into turn 4. Look at that slipstream there for Ayrton. Obviously identical cars, the only thing that's going to help Ayrton is the slipstream, but he's going down the inside into turn 4 and he's not quite made it stick. Don't want to get his nose chopped off there, did he? And Curly Red and Gordo having a battle at the back there as well. Ayrton and Nigel side by side as they go into sector 2, into the horseshoe parts of the track. As Spudder's got a 2-second time penalty, so that's is Nigel's gone off. Nigel's gone off in a big way there, but he's not got any damage, so he can get back onto the track. But he will have a long well, it's only a 5-lap race. He'll have a long 3 laps or so to go, because I don't think he'll be able to catch up to the back of the pack unless there's more incidents ahead of him. Gordo's trying to make up some places. Well, Gordo and Curly both jumped Nigel, unfortunately, for with his spin, but Gordo's going to try and slipstream Guna to see if he can get a move done into turn 1. Tango sets the fastest lap of the race. So it looks like Tango will be picking the car for the next track as Gordo makes a move down into turn 1 on Guna. Up into P5 now is Gordo. Another penalty there for P3 man Dylan, and that's what's going to play into the hands of Ayrton, who's dropped down to P4 but is still within touching distance of that P2 position because of the penalties for the 2 guys ahead of him. Great sound this is. I really love the sound of the classic cars. It's a shame that we don't have this anymore, unfortunately, but as Ayrton picks up a 2-second time penalty as well, unfortunately for Ayrton. So the second down to 4th, all 3 of them have got a 2-second time penalty. Tango is disappearing off into distance. Well, I was saying that, and he's I think he made a mistake there just as I said that, and he's dropped down now, so he's within range for Spud, who's in P2 about half a second behind him, so he's got the slipstream on the lead car. Let's see if he can make any gains on him down the main straight. Not quite doing it for Spud there, he needed more straight to get that move done into turn 1, but he's still got a bit of opportunity to now slipstream Tango and stick with him for the rest of this race and see if Tango gets a penalty, then it will even it out and go for a move maybe on the final lap. We shall see. Guna is still close behind Gordo, slipstreaming him, and obviously the gaps around here we would expect to be quite close, because obviously they're all in the same car, all equal cars as well. Well, if they were all in the same car, it wouldn't matter if they're all equal cars anyway, but they're all in the same car, so it's the pace or the pace is all determined basically by the driver's skill and the driver ability in these classic cars. And not many people are racing these classic cars on the game, maybe 1 or 2 every now and then, but not very often. So we'll see a bit of rustiness at the beginning, of course, and we've got quite a few guys now getting penalties. Guna and Nigel the only ones without penalties, so that will play into the classifications at the end of the race. And will one of them win the race based on penalties? We'll find out in just a lap's time, because we're starting lap 5 now. On to lap 5 we go, the final lap of the race. Gaps out the front are all equalising, they're all about 1 second now. Guna is still within range of Gordo, trying to get that slipstream and then pull him along into on this final lap down the straights. Not going to help him that much in the corners, of course. Nigel getting a 2-second time penalty there as well, so now everybody apart from Guna on a time penalty, and this is really going to help Guna when they cross the finish line, hopefully. Well, hopefully they'll cross the finish line. But we'll have to wait and see if they get to the finish line. Tango still leading the race quite comfortably, and it will probably be on for a win here for the Red Bull 6 driver. I'm going to say that all the time now. Everybody's in the Red Bull 6 or the RB6, and it looks like Tango will be winning this race. So we'll be picking the car for the next track, which I believe is Spain. So yeah, Tango, if you can hear me, put a comment in the YouTube comments or in the Discord Classics chat, and we will select your car for the next race. But yeah, Tango coming up to the line, finishing off a spectacular result, a pole and a win for Tango. I was going to say for the Red Bull driver again. Spud coming up P2, Dylan P3, Guno in P4 there. No penalties for Guno, and it's really propelled him up the order. And then Gordo, I believe, P5, and I think it was Ayrton P6, Curly Red P7, and Nigel P8, something like that. Driver of the day there was Dylan, of course. I think gaining most places on the short race that we just did. But yeah, Tango, if you want to pick your next car, just throw it in. There he is, celebrating away. Tango wants the 2003 Williams, so we'll just pop that in the chat. So that everybody knows. And yeah, Tango there doing a great job getting the pole position, and then cruising away with the win as well, even though he did lag out of the session, which was pretty good. So pretty good stuff from Tango. 2003 Williams is coming up next. We'll wait for everyone to get back in the lobby. I think we can get back in the lobby, or do we get back in the lobby? Yeah, we do. Yep, everyone into the 2003 Williams, please, and then we will carry on with. It is Spain. I got it right there. So yeah, 2003 Williams for everybody, and yeah, we'll carry on with the next race, which is Spain. Once everyone's in the car, just crack on, and we'll get on with the second race, which will be España. The only person we're waiting for is Tango. So Tango's picked the car. And then he's waiting for him to finally pick his car now. So yeah, leading the way, of course, is Tango at the moment. Yeah, 2003 Williams for everybody. So yeah, when everyone's ready to go, we can get cracking with race number 2. Good evening, Swanshanks. Welcome to the stream. So much amazing things going on here. Just waiting for everyone to ready up, and now we're ready to go. I think my PlayStation's about to blow up. So yeah, if that happens, then stream will end. But once again, we're back in. We're back for the second race, and we're just waiting for the guys to load up the setups. I think the setups on fixed. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to get confirmation from one of the drivers. But yeah, we're waiting for the guys to load in, and then we'll crack on with race number 2. George Morgan TV says yo, and I say sup. Nigel just loading in now, last one to get his setup sorted, and we're away for the short quali session. Setups are fixed, so that makes a difference. Makes it all even more equal for everybody as well. So it's based down on the driver performance and how amazing they are as talented people. And yeah, I was going to say something about the quali, but it's quite difficult to commentate on a one-shot quali because obviously everyone sort of moves around and everyone's doing the same lap at the same time. So yeah, I won't jinx anybody because I know some people are listening, some people aren't. But yeah, we'll watch and spectate the 2003 Williams going around the modern Spain, well, not so modern Spain now, is it? Of course, they changed the turn 10, I think, wasn't it, at the end of this, around this corner. We'll see it as we go round, and as we go into the wall there for Nigel, I think it was. Yeah, very nice drive in there from Nigel, and yeah, we'll go and spectate somebody else. Goon is retired from the session as well, so 3 retirees so far. Still less than Brazil, but I think it's yeah. We're looking at the handling of the 2003 Williams. It is not quite comparable to the modern day F1 cars. Tango still hasn't invalidated that. Luckily for him, Ayrton got disqualified there, so I believe actually half and half got through. Tango in 5th with that difficult final corner, or exit on the final corner. So Curly Red taking the pole position only just by just under, well, it's 100th of a second. Sorry, 500th of a second. Spud in P2 again. Dylan in P3 there, improving on his Brazil performance. Gordo in P4, Tango in P5, and unfortunately Ayrton, Nigel, Welsh Maldonado, and Guna did not set a time. So once again, we're just waiting for the guys to sort themselves out. I believe all they can do now is ready up, because it's a fixed setup. They can't change anything, and the fuel is set already for a 5-lapper, isn't it? So yeah, we're just waiting for the countdown to finish. Once the countdown's finished, race 2 is underway when those 5 lights are out, and we just need to wait for Curly Red, who's on pole position, so he's probably having an extra bit of prep time, because he knows he's the best, he's the winner of this race already in his eyes, and probably on track as well, but we'll find out. Curly Red there will be leading us off the grid. 5 red lights, and away we go. Now, there we go, that was good timing. Click my fingers as well there, you can see that. Oh, everyone's just having a bad time with the traction going off the line. Gordo, I think, no, sorry, Spud down from P2 all the way down to P9. Listen to that sound though. That was a fantastic sound. Curly Red leading them through into towards the famous Mercedes corner, or Mercedes straight, I suppose it is, because it's technically a straight. Nigel there getting up into P3, overtaking Gordo as they come into turn 4. Well, I think this sounds better than the RB6s that we had in Brazil just now, but yeah. Fantastic to hear the 2003 Williams flying round the Spain track. Just got to make sure they watch out for the corner cuts, of course. Very difficult to handle these cars, and very difficult to avoid the penalties. Got a couple of cars going off into the gravel there in the background as we come round turn 10 or turn 11, one of the two. Lots of traction there for Gordo, nearly threw him off into the gravel as well, but he's kept it on track nicely. Tango dropping down the order there. He's unfortunately left the session, but he can hopefully jump back in as quickly as he can. Welsh Maldonado up into P4 there, overtaking the Ghost car, or the Ghost Williams I should say, of Tango. Curly Red second fastest laps. He's out in the distance as it stands at the moment. That's a great shot to hear the sound of the cars coming through. Brilliant sound as they go over my head and then into turn 1. Ecos Spud is in the pits. Don't know if he got any damage from that. He must have done, because he's deciding to make a pit stop. Tango is back in the session, and it's a wing change there for Ecos Spud, and he will be out and about in just a jiffy, and off he goes. Sliding round the turn there, turn 5 was Curly Red, but he's still got a nice lead over Nigel. Nigel doing a great job in this race as Gordo, Welsh Maldonado both pick up 2-second time penalty each for going through that same corner. Going out wide there again. We're both. I think there's somebody off in the background. It's Tango. Tango's off in the background there. He's managed to save it. Oh no, it's Dylan. Dylan as well is off. So both of them having a bit of a torrid time. He's doing the alternate layout is Dylan, and yeah, he needs to get back onto the tarmac to be able to put the throttle down, and away he can go now. around the final turn comes Curly Red, all very wide there, and that looked a bit dodgy, that did. But he set the fastest lap nonetheless, and he's increasing the gap to Nigel and P2. So yeah, nothing wrong there from Curly Red. Doing a great job at the moment as it stands in this race. 3 laps in, or starting the 3rd lap, so 2 and a bit laps in now, I suppose. Gordo picking up a 2-second time penalty as well. Dylan's got a 2-second time penalty there. He's down in 8th, and he needs to do some catching to get back into this race. Welsh Maldonado picking up another 2-second time penalty, so that's 4 seconds now for Welsh Maldonado. Let's put the penalties on. There we go. Penalties are there now. They're on the same tyre as well, so it's fine. On the dry tyre, of course. It's only one type of tyre. It's dry or wet for these classic cars. Tango has left the session again, so I'm not sure whether he's happy with what's going on in his race. He's got a bit of wing damage there as well, that Williams, but hopefully he can get back in nonetheless. Guna up into P6 now, getting past Tango. As we watch him come into the hairpin, see if there's any traction lost. No, he's always a bit squirrely. There we go, got my words out eventually. As we've got a problem there for Dylan again. I think Dylan's having issues with this part of the track, and it's not liking him, and he's not liking it, I don't think. As Curly Red blitzing it again, is setting the fastest lap of the race. Well, his only fastest lap. He's beating his own records really at the moment. And Gordo's got another penalty there, so 4 seconds for Gordo. I didn't see that flash up, so might have been early on lap 3. But on to lap 4 now we go. Curly Red leading the way quite comfortably as it stands. And in a prime position to get a podium here if he can stick with the 2 ahead of him. But at the back, unfortunately, Tango's car is pitted, so I don't know whether that was Tango's AI or Tango himself. I don't think Tango is back in session as well. Maldonado and Gordo having a battle into turn 5 for P3. And Welsh Maldonado has made the move stick there, and up into P3 for the Welsh driver. Nigel getting the 2-second time penalty there, so it's really cementing Curly's dominance in this race as Tango is back in the session, thankfully. So he's got a fresh front wing, and he'll be able to do the next lap or 2, well, lap and a half or so now, and get some fastest laps under his belt. Hopefully, he might be able to get the fastest lap on the final lap, which will be good for the I was going to say it there, for the Williams driver. So yeah, there we go. Welsh Maldonado getting out of shape in the final chicane, and that's going to invite Gordo into an overtake potentially into turn 1. Trying to weave out of the slipstream as Welsh Maldonado. That's the only power they've got on these cars in terms of extra benefit on their rivals, is the slipstream when they're following closely. Into turn 1 they go side by side. Gordo up into P3. Fantastic move there from Gordo. And Welsh Maldonado dropping down at 1 position into P4. Just waiting for where's Tango there? There he is. He is back in session now, back in the car, so he's back racing as well. Fresh tyres on the Williams now. Obviously making a change when he was out of the session. So being able to go for a fastest lap and see what he can do here, just to show off his pace. Welsh Maldonado back up against back in the fight against Gordo. Ayrton going around the outside there of Gordo, trying to hold it, but he couldn't quite. As Gordo defends the position, and Welsh Maldonado picking up another time penalty there. So 6 seconds now for the driver in P3. But yeah, I've got to go and watch this man, Curly Red, coming round into the final chicane. It would be nice if they just got rid of that chicane and went back to the normal setup. But he's having a bit of struggles there. Is Curly Red coming through the exit that corner, coming up to the line? Is he going to bottle it or is he going to win it? I think he's going to win it because of penalties for Nigel. Curly Red wins the Spanish Grand Prix, classic Spanish Grand Prix, I should say. Nigel in P2, Ayrton in P3, Gordo P4. Welsh Maldonado P5. Guna will come across the line in P6, I believe. Yes, he will. And then we've got Dylan, Spud and Tango to cross the line as well. So Curly Red, if you could get your choice for next car into the Discord or in the YouTube comments, either one. And yeah, we're going to choose the car for the next race. We'll just wait for Curly Red to put that in, and then we can crack on with race number 3. Dylan there finishing P7. Ecos Spud coming across the line in P8, but I think he'll be jumped there. Yeah, Tango I think jumped up into P8 there for the Williams driver, of course, the Williams driver. Spider said he's not a fan of this wagon. I think it was a difficult one to handle, was that car. So we'll have to wait and see now, as we're not going to get the choices from the car apparently until we're in the lobby again, which is convenient. So yeah, waiting to see. The guy celebrating on the podium, curly red there. I think it was, I can't remember who it was now. Nigel, of course. Yeah, I should have said Nigel and Ayrton rounded off the podium. Everybody did a great job with that car. A bit of a tough drive, I think, but yeah, they've all done a great job of finishing the race. A couple of people with a bit of wing damage here and there, but yeah, difficult track to probably handle that car around as well. So yeah, fantastic stuff. Spain is disgusting and even worse than these cars, said Welsh Maldonado. So that's there we go. There's an insight into Welsh Maldonado's thinking about Spain and I think it's the FW28, isn't it? 26. The 2003 Williams car there. Fantastic stuff. 2009 Brawn we're going for next, and we're going to be racing around Silverstone. So yeah, 2009 Brawn for everyone, please, and then we'll crack on with the next race. Just waiting for everyone to change over their cars, and then when we're all ready up and get going. Just waiting for Tango to sort his car out. Gordo there saying a lovely sound. I think he's referring to the Williams there, but just about the only good thing about the car. So yeah, Gordo not a fan either, unfortunately, of the 2003 Williams. But yeah, we've all done that now. We're on to the Brawn. So of course, Brawn only had one season in F1 in 2009, but it was a pretty good season for them. Jenson Button and Rubens Barrichello. I say Barrichello, but some people say Barrichello, but I'm not sure which one's right really. But I call him Kello. But there we go. Yeah, so obviously they had a great 2009 season, winning the title, the constructor title, and of course Jenson winning the drivers title as well. But yeah, it was a one season team. I wouldn't say one, because obviously Ross Brawn wasn't planning to keep the car going in 2010 anyway. So he was moving over to Mercedes, wasn't he? So yeah, but it was yeah, a really good season to watch. Two drivers who hadn't had that much luck in F1 before, hadn't had the car that they should have had, as we saw with Button and Rubin. So yeah, it was good to have them both in the sort of title winning car just for a season, just to watch them watch them have something that they should have deserved, I think, for most of their career, to be fair. Both of them great drivers, both talented drivers. So yeah, anyway, enough of my rambling on. We've got 9 drivers who are just as good as those two into the 2009 Brawn as well, and we'll be racing around Silverstone. So yeah, just waiting for the guys to load up, and once we're all loaded, we'll be underway for the one-shot quali around Britain. And away we go. As I said, it's quite difficult to commentate on this sort of thing, because everyone's on track, everyone's on the same tyre, same part of tarmac really even. So yeah, I'll just watch. But yeah, it's really nice to see these cars. I think, actually, to be fair, in terms of a design, before they had the couple of sponsors that are on the car, as you can see there, it was a completely sponsorless car. It was just the white and the sort of luminous green. So absolutely fantastic to watch when it was racing in real life. And yeah, hopefully Ross Brawn can bring something like this back one day. You never know. But sounding a bit more sort of shrill than the 2003 Williams that we heard in Spain in the last race, but it's still something to marvel at, and it's still better sound than the current F1 cars. So I think they've of course they've been adding sound to the current F1 cars, haven't they? So it's adding some sort of definition to the sound, of course, to make it more interesting. But I think they've gone the wrong way really, and they've made F1 more boring anyway overall, in terms of what the cars are doing and what what everyone's doing in terms of the regulations, I think, as well. So that's my personal opinion. But if you ask me to racing these classic cars around this game, I'd tell you that I'm not a fan and I wouldn't like it. But I do like these cars, watching them, that is. But Welsh Maldonado, they're setting the fastest time. Fantastic time there from Welsh Maldonado. German has joined. He said he was only going to be 10 minutes, a 6:15, and he's been 45 minutes. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, Welsh Maldonado in P1, Dylan in P2, Spud in P3. So dropping down the order as is customary, P2 from Spud. Nigel in P4 there, Ayrton and Gunnar in P5 and P6, and unfortunately Tango, Gordo and Curly Red could not set a time. Gordo there just saying he messed up his lap. Welsh Maldonado, I should say, Becca in the YouTube comments. I'm going to make sure that poll is added to Sean's stats. Of course, wanting to boost the stat numbers. Partake in any ALR event, and I'm sure, of course, you have to make sure that Sean is also watching. I don't think he is, unfortunately, Welsh Maldonado. So unfortunately for you, that poll is going to be not included in your stats. But you have to pester Sean if you want anything included in your stats, and often he'll just tell you to go away. But anyway, enough of that. We've got 5 red lights on at Silverstone. Drive-through for Curly Red, a drive-through for Tango, I believe it is. And Welsh Maldonado gets us underway. So a bit of a chaotic start there. 2 guys jumping the start, and they're going to have a drive-through penalty on a track that you don't really want a drive-through penalty because it's a very long pit lane, isn't it? In terms of time. Somebody going off the track there. I'm not sure who that is. It's Dylan going off the track. But it was an eventful start. Curly Red and Tango up into P1 and P2. But of course they have to make a drive-through. They'll have to do a drive-through at some point in this race, within the next 3 laps, including this one. So it's Dylan getting past Gunnar there into P8. Sorry for Dylan. So Welsh Maldonado is the de facto race leader as it stands, because of course Tango and Curly Red have to make a pit stop effectively, even though they don't have to change their tyres. But they'll definitely have to drive through the whole length of the pit lane to serve their drive through as well. Maldonado going very wide, taking an alternative route through Maggots and Beckett, kicking up the dust, kicking up the dirt. Gordo getting past Ayrton as Ayrton's dropping down the order now, as down into P8 goes Ayrton. Dylan up into P6, so Dylan on the charge as it stands now. Ayrton defending from Gordo. A bit of a barge there from one of them. Gordo down into P9 now, as we got both the jump starters are in the pits. Welsh Maldonado resumes the lead of this race, followed closely by Spud and Nigel. So the top 3 there are pretty close together, and Dylan is 2 seconds or so back already after one lap. So it's getting pretty tight for the top 3, but the gaps are starting to emerge further back. Gunnar is the one battling Gordo now, trying to get the positions back. Tango says that went well. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just seemed like both of you sort of got a bit too happy off the start, but it doesn't matter. It's still in the race, no damage, and only 18 seconds behind 7th place is Tango as he comes out of the pits. So you never know. Maybe 6 seconds a lap we need to gain to get to the back of Gunnar. So stranger things have happened. Welsh Maldonado is checking out in the lead. Nigel all over the back of Spud here. We're watching it live as they come through Cops. Into Maggots and Beckett, they will go. And we're just waiting to see if there's going to be a move made by Nigel up into P2. But very nice flowing move, flowing section of the track this is, into Stowe, heading up towards Stowe. Down the hanger straight. Nigel has made a mistake there, I believe, as we've got a yellow flag. It's Gordo, I believe. Yep, Gordo coming out of Maggots and Beckett has made a mistake. Has he got any damage on that Brawn car? Nope, no damage for Gordo, so he's all right to carry on. The closest battle on track is still the top 3. Welsh Maldonado still leading the way, setting the fastest lap again. We've got another yellow flag. It is for Tango? No, it's not for Tango. It's for Curly Red, who is DNF'd and retired on the track. So I don't know what's happened to him there, but he did say he was having wheel issues at the beginning of this race, or beginning of this event, sorry, before we started. So hopefully he can reset his wheel and get back racing again. But yeah, Nigel trying to put the pressure on Spud trying to put the pressure on Spud overall, but he's not been able to make any inroads on the P2 driver as it stands. Welsh Maldonado is extending her lead in parts of the track and then losing it in the others, so she needs to have a clean lap to overall together to pull out of the 1 second window and out of the slipstream sort of range of the Brawn car, because obviously the slipstream was a lot different in these days, and it was more effective because obviously there wasn't any DRS or ERS to play with. So well, there was the overtake the curves button, I think. As Nigel getting all out of shape in the exit of Maggots and Beckett's, and he's just about held on to it, going a 2 second time penalty for his troubles, but he's about to put him out of range now of Spud, and he's put him under pressure now from Dylan instead, so he's going to have to look behind him instead of ahead of him. Tango's left the session. Welsh Maldonado's picked up a 2 second time penalty, so that is not good news for the race leader. Gordo picking up a 2 second time penalty as well. Tango is, yeah, he's left the session, hasn't he? So I don't know if he can get back in this race. Dylan's setting the fastest lap now, so he's set his sights on Nigel and on the podium places, and he's going to go for it now and try and get that move to get into the podium. But he's guaranteed a podium at the moment based on the deltas, because Nigel has a 2 second time penalty and he does not. Into the pits comes Gordo. Gordo must have had some sort of issue. No, he's not got any wing change. He's just pitting for a new set of tyres. So fresh set of tyres for Gordo. Maybe he wants to go for the fastest lap. Spud there is trying to make some inroads, but it's Dylan who's setting all the purple sectors as it stands with the fastest lap. Tango back in the session, which is good. Yeah, so he's overtaken Gordo, because of course Gordo made a pit stop for some new boots. But yeah, Dylan now all over the back of Nigel. Is he going to try and make a move? 10 second time penalty for Gordo. Not sure what happened there. But yeah, unfortunately for Gordo, it's not going his way. It was Welsh Maldonado again taking the alternative route through Maggots and Beckett, and Spud now within 7/10 or so of the lead car, and will he be able to get a slipstream, a bit of a tow further down the straight and into Stowe? And it looks like he has actually, but obviously the delta's disappeared now, so we'll wait for Tango, we'll wait for the guys rather to cross the finish line, because that's the next sort of checkpoint, and then we'll have our deltas back. But yeah, it's very close between the top two now, and with Welsh Maldonado not having a penalty, with Spud not having a penalty, setting the fastest lap there, it was Dylan that's taking it away from him. But as Spud has not got a penalty, he'll be the actual winner of this race when they cross the line, if it stays as it is now, of course, with the deltas. But yeah, 2 second time penalty for Welsh Maldonado and Nigel and Ayrton in P5, and I believe Gordo has got a 2 second time penalty as well. 12 seconds, sorry, for Gordo. Nigel has actually got a 4 second time penalty, so I didn't see that at all. But yellow flags once again as it's Gordo. I think going slowly into the final couple of corners. Into club he goes. Now is a nice shot there of the Brawn car as it comes around the final corner across the line and starting his final lap. But yeah, Welsh Maldonado trying to pull away from the Spud, but I don't think Spud's having any of it. Dylan, of course, is all over the back of Nigel now, and he wants to push that Brawn car of Nigel. They're both in the Brawn car. Push the Brawn car of Nigel to make sure that he can guarantee a step on that podium. But he might actually be able to sneak a further step on the podium if he can get within 2 seconds of Welsh Maldonado. But we shall see as we fly down the hangar straight. I'll jump over to the leader as well in just a second. Yeah, through Stowe, unfortunately Dylan can't make a move, but Welsh Maldonado is going to cross the line in first place, but I think she will lose that first place to Spud based on the penalty situation, but we'll find out in just a second when they come round the final corner. Welsh Maldonado wins on track, but Spud is the one who wins based on penalties. Welsh Maldonado in P2, Dylan in P3, no penalties for him either. Nigel down in P4, Guna in P5, Ayrton down into P6 with his penalty there, and Tango, who is back in the race, is coming around the last couple of corners, I should say, and then we will. Then we've got Gordo, of course. Spud is the winner of that race, so we're just waiting for Spud. Spud needs to nominate his next car, or the next car, sorry. So we've got Gordo not crossing the line there, and Just trying to reverse it. The reversing it over the line is Gordo, P8. Spud there getting driver of the day, of course, with a fantastic drive. Getting the win as well, so good victory for Spud. Celebrating there on the podium. Welsh Maldonado said that's a tough one to take. I think, of course, she was leading the race, but of course, of that penalty, it demoted her down to P2. Tango said fastest lap is the only thing I can do, of course, with his issues with his hard drive, which is just blue screening in the race, which is kicking him out of the game, unfortunately, and he's doing a great job of joining back in, and then deciding if he can carry on with the race and set some fastest laps. But I suppose it keeps your tyres cool, I suppose, if it's just the AI driving around. But there we go, there's the classification for the third race of the event. We have got Britain just done and dusted, and Spud there winning the race, Welsh Maldonado in P2 and Dylan in P3, Nigel there P4, Gunnar in P5, Ayrton in P6, Tango, Gordo and Curly Red making up the final positions. Dylan there saying that was a close finish, well, that was close at the finish, sorry. But yeah, between him and Nigel, I think it was only a couple of tenths. So yeah, we're just waiting for the car choice for the next track, which we don't know what it is. Probably, I think it might be Italy, something like that. In which case, a nice Ferrari wouldn't go amiss, would it? We haven't had a Ferrari just yet. But yeah, it is Italy. There we go. So yeah, just waiting for the car choice. And 2004 Ferrari for the Italian Grand Prix, which is very fitting, I think. So into the 2004, the F2004 as well for everybody. Just waiting for Nigel and Curly Red to switch their cars. And yeah, once everyone's in the Ferrari, I think they all are, we can get cracking. Yeah, the PlayStation's about to take off, guys, so if you can hear that, if I start flying, then you know why. So yeah, it's nice to have a classic car on a classic car track, I suppose. It's the F 2004 Ferrari around Monza. We got yeah, so we're really interested to see these guys racing around here tonight in the Ferrari. So yeah, well, I think people in the comments and the Discord comments are anticipating a pretty difficult race with this car. Yeah, so we might see some spins and some collisions and things like that. Who knows? We'll see something or other coming up in just a jiffy. Whilst I'm waiting for everyone to load in, I'll see if I can find the. Oh. We've got some alarms going off as we get the quali session underway, and you can listen to the alarms and the cars going round this beautiful track. Gordo there having a bit of trouble, and he is retired from the session, as has Gunnar as well. So P10 for Gunnar, Gordo in P9, but everyone else is sticking at it and flying around as fast as they can. Don't want to say anything because I don't want to jinx anybody, but yeah, great job from the 8 guys who are still running. Both Maldonado and German, I think, getting disqualified for their antics in Ascari. But there we go, Nigel claiming pole position. Spud in P2 is familiar P2 for Spud. Curly Red in P3, Dylan in P4 and Ayrton in P5. Unfortunately, only 5 people set a time and 5 people did not. So those Ferraris are, well, some people are having fun in the Ferraris, some people not. But yeah, waiting for the guys to load in and then we'll crack on with the final, well, not the final race, sorry. This is the final event, but with the 4th race, I should say, of this event. And yeah, I don't know what the track is that's coming up, but we've got one more track, or one more race around Monza to come here. And 5 red lights are on, 5 red lights are off, and away we go. Nigel getting there. It's a bit of a shaky start. We've got somebody in the background there all over the place. And yeah, in the pit lane it looks like. There's a couple of people there. Into turn 1 we go. We were careful, everybody. We want to make sure that everyone gets through safely. And looks like everyone has done so far. So good stuff from all the drivers there. We've got a ghost car there. Has Tango left the session again? Yeah, I think he has, unfortunately, for Tango. Spud, who was started in P2, dropping down the order all the way down to P10. Is Spud, so he's the biggest loser, unfortunately for him, at the beginning of this race. Nigel storming off into the distance, but he's closely followed by Curly Red. Gordo getting past Guna, and letting Guna back past. So Gordo's dropping down the order now, unfortunately for Gordo. So I don't know what happened to him there. Germa with a slipstream on Curly Red, down towards the Ascari. Side by side they go, identical cars, identical wheels, I think, as well. So around into Ascari they go, and Curly Red tries to hold around the outside, unfortunately loses out, and that's going to interest Ayrton in that 3rd spot. But I think he needs to get into a slipstream. There's Ayrton, because he's being slipstreamed himself by Welshman Nardo, and that P4 might be under threat for Ayrton as well, as the Welshman Nardo down the inside into Parabolica. And she's got the move, I think. She's made the move stick, has she? I think it's very close between the two of them. We've got Spud there getting past Guna as well in Parabolica as well, which gets the passes that. Welshman Nardo side by side with Ayrton still as they go down towards turn 1. Heavy braking zone, and they've made the move. Ayrton made the move stick. He's got the place back now up into P4, but it's allowed Curly Red to get away. Gordo and Guna just smashing into each other there, which is absolutely appalling racing from the G's. I'm going to call them the G's, but Gordo is out of the race, I think, or is he just sitting there? I think Guna is still going, thankfully for him. But yeah, Gordo is still going as well, but he's just in the wall there. He's just driving through the grass. So I don't know what happened to Gordo there, but we've got a yellow flag for him as he's just spinning around on track on his own, it looks like. Welshman Nardo is the closest driver on track to making an overtake, so we'll stick on board with her. As it stands, we come through Ascari, all very wide. Dev Welshman Nardo, there's a wall there, you don't want to go in that. She's in the grass, and that's her position lost. I'm afraid Dylan and Spud even will be able to breeze through. And yeah, it was very close for Welshman Nardo. Luckily she didn't get any damage. Spud there on the inside in Parabolica and making that move stick. And yeah, Welshman Nardo was in P5, was lining up a move for P4 and is now down into P7. Gordo there is going very slowly for some reason. He's just having a casual time. Guna getting a 3-second time penalty there for speeding in the pit lane. Gordo is now stopped on track in the middle sector, so he's probably waiting for the leaders to see, or I don't know what he's waiting for the leaders for really, but Nigel there is the leader and he's doing a great job. Curly Red has been passed by German. I think Curly Red made a mistake there as he's dropped 2.2 seconds back behind German now, so he's still in the podium places, but it will be tight as through the Lesmos they come. Gordo there was just getting out of the way, so I don't know what Gordo was planning. As Welshman Nardo is off the track in the first Lesmo, so I don't know what's happened to Welshman Nardo there, but trying to recover onto the track. Guno's coming out the pits as he's made an unscheduled pit stop, but I think he had to for his wing change there, so he's back out on track on the fresh tyres. weaving all over the place was Gunnar there, and Gordo once again stopping on track for some reason and spinning around. So yeah, fantastic stuff there from Gordo. Spud is up into P5 again, making one of his trademark moves around the outside. Nigel again setting the fastest lap of the race, trying to pull away from German. Welsh Maldonado has retired on track. Gunnar there is still going, as we can see Welsh Maldonado's car in the foreground there, and Gunnar just sliding on past. Lovely sound there from the F2004. Brilliant car, brilliant sound, brilliant engine. So yeah, we're just watching the guys come through. Ecos Spud has got a 2-second time penalty, as he's all over the place at the moment into the Lesmos. German there picking up a 2-second time penalty, so Curly Red needs to gain about 8 tenths or so to be able to keep that P2, and he will jump German if he can gain that time. He is trying to gain that time. He's 2.5 seconds behind now, so with German getting a 2-second time penalty, he only needs to gain 6 tenths or so. So yeah, it will be close. It will be very close when they cross the line. Nigel there is pulling away from German now down the main straight into turn 1. Everyone has sort of equaled out in the gaps. I think Tango is still out of the session, so yeah, Tango hasn't been able to get back in just yet. I don't know if he's back in or not. Gunnar, oh, that was close. I thought Gunnar was going off there, but he's all right now. So yeah, Nigel leads the way from, or he's been leading the way from lap 1 as he got it on pole, as Spiders retired from the session as well on the exit of the first chicane. Let's go on board with Tango and see where he was. But yeah, so Nigel has led every lap, every race, as Tango's slowing down there for some reason. Don't see what happened there. Spud is, yeah, you can see Spud's car there. Looks like he put it in the wall just because he was not having a good race. But yeah, he's able to carry, or would have been able to carry on, I think. But yeah, Nigel there doing a great job, leading from lap 1, or from first all the way through to the end, and coming through Ascari now, the final time. He's got German for company. German is really closing him in now, but with that penalty, I don't think German's going to be able to make that move stick, or make it stick when they cross the line. And yeah, round the Parabolica they come for the final time. Nigel is going to cross the line in P1, and he's going to win the race as well. So congratulations to Nigel, setting the fastest lap. Oh no, German has eclipsed him for the fastest lap, but finishes P2. Curly Red in P3, Ayrton in P4. Dylan will cross the line in P5. And I think Tango, if Tango's in the car, yeah, I don't think he is actually still, but he will cross the line in P6, and Gunnar will be in P7. So we'll wait for Nigel to pick his car. But yeah, waiting for Gunnar to cross the line. I think everyone's done a great job, because as I said, they were all a bit iffy about this car being chosen because it's a difficult car to drive. So we're just waiting for Gunnar to cross the line. But yeah, it's a difficult car to drive, so everyone who has finished has done a great job of getting to the line. And yeah, Gunnar just coming up to the finish line now, and he is going to cross the line in P7. Driver of the day there was German, finishing P2 in the end, but he did a great job of making his way through the field pretty early on in the race as well. So yeah, he's done a great job there of getting through. Dylan has said he hates the car. So yeah, I don't think Dylan was a fan of that one. But we'll have to find out what track's next, as we've got Nigel there celebrating, German and Curly Red in the background on the podium as well. So a lovely classic race around Monza in the F2004. As we watch the top three having a lovely celebration there, enjoying the fake champagne as they do. just waiting for Nigel to pick his car, and then we'll be able to crack on. I think we'll probably do one more race. It looks like Nigel is going for a McLaren. So we'll wait and see as we load in. Oh, I don't know what that was. I've already seen that, I think. But maybe it's just my game being slow. But yeah, wait for the lobby to load up, and then we'll be jumping into a McLaren, and we'll have to wait for confirmation on which year McLaren. But yeah, we'll find out in a minute which McLarens are available. We've got a 2008 McLaren or the 2010 McLaren. And we have Bahrain coming up. So yeah, Bahrain, the 5th track. Just had to double check. So we're just waiting for Nigel to pick the car. Now we're going for 2000 Ferrari instead. So the F1 2000 for Nigel around Bahrain. So yeah, a bit of a shenanigans there, trying to sort out who was going in which car. But yeah, 2000 Ferrari for everybody now. Just waiting for a couple more guys to switch over. Oh, some people don't have the car, I think, so we're going to have to select a different car. Bear with me one sec. I think that one car that was selected where you were chose for a pre-order was chosen because it was a pre-order car. So yeah, we're not going to be able to race with that one, unfortunately, because some people won't have it. So just waiting for Nigel to sort himself out and send us a different choice. And it's taken a while for him to do it, so yeah, we'll wait for him to sort that out. But just waiting for a car choice, because of course some people would not have the deluxe edition, so they won't be able to have the car that we want to race in right now. Well, this is going well. So yeah, we're just going to have to sit here until he's going to tell us what we want to do, because we're waiting for him to sort himself out, and he's not changed his mind. So he's now said 90. So we need to change the class. I think 90 what? Right, we're going to go for 2008 McLaren. So everybody, if you can pick the 2008 McLaren, so you can get the 5th race underway. And once Gunnar has chosen McLaren as well, we will get cracking with the 5th race, which will be around Bahrain. So once the countdown is complete, we will get cracking. The 5th race of the event, I think. Let me double check what's going on in this one. So we'll wait. Yeah, it's Bahrain, of course, but it's not one that we've had many classic races around, of course, because it's a relatively new track. Yeah, we'll see how the 2008 McLaren will fare around the night circuit of Bahrain in Sakir, sort of a desert track, isn't it? But will be interesting to watch. Just waiting for the guys to load in, and then we will crack on with the event. We'll do one more race after Bahrain as well, so one more to squeeze in, and then we'll finish for the Euros, of course, because the Euros are coming up and everyone wants to watch that. Away go the cars. I must say it's a very lovely looking McLaren, that is. I enjoyed watching the 2008 season, of course, with Lewis Hamilton winning the title on the very last race by 1 point. And yeah, through turn 2, it's going to be, I think it's quite a difficult track to manoeuvre with these cars, especially as the handling model is a lot different for these guys, well, for these cars around these modern tracks as well. So it's much more difficult to manoeuvre. But yeah, everyone so far has done a great job in putting on a good show, putting on some good races. Gordo has retired from the session, as I've said that, so unfortunately for Gordo, but as Spud has done the same. But yeah, 7 people still in it. As you come round the difficult turn 10, I think it is, yeah, something like that, and heading up to turn 11 and 12. Very nice helmet there from Nigel. Gotta love a nice helmet. Into sector 3 we go, and yeah, I don't want to jinx who's leading and who's not. So you can see for yourselves on the stream who's where. But when they cross the line, we will of course look at the classifications and shout about who's on pole and who's not. But yeah, as they come up to the line, I think Nigel there had a bit of a squirrely moment in the final turn, as Welsh Maldonado once again sets the fastest lap, and Spud and Gordo unfortunately getting disqualified there. So yeah, everybody apart from Spud and Gordo there looking like they set a decent time, or set a time on the board. Welsh Maldonado in P1, Dylan in P2, Gurman in P3 with Nigel in P4, and then we've got Curly Red in P5, Guna in P6 and Ayrton in P7. Unfortunately, cause Spud and Gordo did not set a time, so they'll be starting at the back of the grid. Just wait for the countdown to finish, and then we'll crack on with the race of 5 laps around Bahrain in the lovely 2008 McLaren, the MP4-23. Welsh Maldonado said prediction for the Spain v Italy match. I predict Italy to win in normal time and Spain to win on penalties if it goes to extra time and penalties. Dylan has said it's a 2-0 Italy win, so he's confident. Curly Red says 3-2 Italy. I think everyone's going for Italy. Oh, Welshman now says controversial. I don't know whether that's to me or whether to everybody else's score prediction, but whatever. We've got a race to do, so we're going to look at that first. Five lights are on. And now 5 lights are off, and away we go for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Difficult start there for Dylan. It looked like as they all struggled to get off the line, but Welsh Maldonado leads them away. Nigel up into P2 already, and Gurman still in P3. Around turn 1 they go. Make sure there's no contact, guys. Oh, there's a bit of contact there from Curly Red, I think it was, or Spud, one of the two, as they go very close together there. But into turn 4 they come. There would be a DRS line there, but or DRS zone there, but not on these cars. And it looks like everyone's struggling with traction out of the slow corners. So turn 1 and turn 4 there. It looks like it was a very difficult type of corner for these cars, and it's difficult in the current cars anyway, but even more so in the 2008 McLaren, as we can see here. Spud and German going side by side. We've got a spinner there. It's Spud who's spun the McLaren round, coming through that corner, and on the exit, I think putting the power down a bit too early, and he's lost out massively down into P9. Down at the back of the grid now is the McLaren driver, is Spud. So yeah, unfortunately for him, Welsh Maldonado is all over the back of Nigel, who has managed to get past her in this lap, and is going to try and regain that P1 spot, which she qualified in, of course. Slipstream is really effective, it looks like, in these cars, so will be nice to see some overtaking down the long main straight of Bahrain. Weaving out the way is Nigel to try and avoid the slipstream. Nigel sets the fastest out of the race, of course, crossing the line in P1. Side by side they will go into turn 1, and it looks like it's going to be very tight, and it's going to be very tight in the background as well. I can't see anything from this camera angle, please. Come on, Codemasters, sort yourselves out. Welsh Maldonado there cutting the corner there a bit. I must have been warning that, but still not being able to get past Nigel, so unlucky for her. But we'll go again on the next, or on this lap still. Gordo there getting past Dylan, and he's going to have to defend from the Irishman, who is now into P7. Ecos Spud doing a great job of keeping going. He's not got any damage, so he can still get back in this race. Only 5 seconds behind, so he's got the pace, as we've seen in his quali times, to upset the guys in front of him. So still plenty of laps, plenty of time to gain on the back of them. Already gaining half a second or so in this first part of the lap. Meanwhile, out in front, Welsh Maldonado is putting the pressure on Nigel as they fly down the mid-straight. Lovely sound, again, beautiful sound of the 2008 McLaren, I think one of the best sounding cars. One of the best sounding cars we've had in this event so far anyway. And around we go, down the back straight, slipstream engaged. You can see how much they gain in the slipstream. A couple of tenths coming off as we go down the short straight here. But around the final corner we go. Nigel once again will probably set the fastest lap of the race, I think. There he is. Unless somebody in the background can match him or beat him. But yeah, Welsh Maldonado trying to slipstream the leader into turn 1, not quite making the move stick. And we'll have to look further back, see if any moves are going to be made, but everyone's sticking close together. Gordo losing traction there into turn 2, and that's lost him some pressure on Ayrton, who was in P5. Spud is bringing that gap down at the back there. He's now down to 4.5 seconds, so he's gained about a second in one lap. So he can still get on the back of Gunnar here, I think, towards the end of this race. We're on lap 3 now, out of 5. Halfway through lap 3 now, so about halfway through race distance. I know it's a very long one, he's got this one. So everyone's doing a good job. Welsh Maldonado slipstreaming Nigel again. Nigel pulling out to try and get out of that slipstream, out of the so there's no benefit to Welsh Maldonado, but she's still there. Through into sector 3 they come. German now is putting up the pressure, or racking up the pressure, sorry I should say, getting there eventually. And yeah, so I've got my words out. So yeah, he's now on the back of Welsh Maldonado, so the 3 of them are going to try and, well, the 2 of them are going to try and put some pressure on Nigel and really get some moves done for the lead of this race. Curly Red there is dropping back slightly, but he's still in P4, still comfortable, so he could make a move if these 3 start battling, of course. Spud there setting the fastest lap of the race, 3.4 seconds now the gap to Guido. He's really motoring is Spud after his first lap where he had a bit of an issue in turn 4, I think it was, or turn 6. But he's still going. He's still not got any damage, so he's got the pace to set those fastest laps and get after Gunnar, try and get some positions and some points back. The closest battle on track is between the top 2 as it stands, and Welsh Maldonado will be looking to, well, I've said that, but that's been an overtake. Dylan on Gordo. I think Gordo had a bit of an issue coming out of the hairpin and into the next hairpin, and he's going to have to try and cruise up. He's lost a lot of time there for Gordo. He's lost a lot of time to Dylan now, so the pressure is on him from behind rather than him attacking And yeah, unfortunately for Gordo, he's dropping down the order, and he's not been liking the last few races, has he? As Gordo unfortunately retired in Italy as well, I think. So yeah. Anyway, Welsh Maldonado is still there or thereabouts and trying to make a move for the lead. The top three now cruising away. Curly Red dropping back another second or so in the last lap since we last looked. And yeah, Welsh Maldonado, Gernman are the only two to take the fight to Nigel, but Nigel just setting the fastest laps after fastest lap. He's doing a great job controlling this race, and he's he's pushed himself up into P1 as Spud takes his fastest lap away. Ayrton getting past Curly Red around the outside into turn 1 and up into P4 now for Ayrton. But Spud now, yeah, on the back of Gunnar, and Gunnar's got 2 seconds. Oh, so is Spud now. Both the guys in P8 and P9 have got a time penalty now, so unfortunate for them. Ayrton and Curly Red backing away into turn 4 on the exit, and Curly Red has got the move stuck, and he's up into P5, got that spot back from Ayrton, who's going to fight him all the way on this lap. Meanwhile, for the lead of the race, we've got Welsh Maldonado, we have got Gernman, but in front of them we have got Nigel, who is commanding this lead, and he's been ever since he got into the lead on lap 1 in sector 2 of lap 1, he's been controlling it and he's been leading it. So congratulations to Nigel, he's doing a fantastic job so far. But can Welsh Maldonado sneak over the line in P1 still? You never know, something could happen in the final couple of corners. Gernman has dropped off the back of these two now, so it's a 2-horse race for the win for the lead of this race, and only 1 corner to go now. Well, technically 2, I suppose, but I'm going to count it as 1 corner. But it looks like it's all Nigel, and Nigel is going to come across the line in P1. We watched the McLaren driver, as I say that again, 9 McLaren drivers. We watch him come across the line as he wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Off go the fireworks. Welsh Maldonado in P2, Gernman in P3, Curly Red in P4, Ayrton in P5, Dylan in P6, Gordo in P7, I believe Gunnar in P8, and Spud, in P9. But that was a good race there from all the guys there. Nigel, of course, claimed driver of the day as well. Gained quite a lot of places off the start, didn't he? On lap 1, and now he's claiming yet another victory. So fantastic stuff from Nigel. Just watching the podium celebrations there. Nigel very happy with himself, claiming his 2nd race win of this event. Welsh Maldonado in P2 and Gernman in P3. Curly Red there making up, finishing in 4th place. Ayrton in P5, Dylan in P6, Gordo P7, Gunnar and Spud, the only 2 with penalties as well, in P8 and P9. But off go the fireworks in the background. I think that was a pretty good race from everybody there. We're just watching the counter time down, and we'll get there in the end, and then we'll crack on with the final race of this event. We'll find out what the track is to start with, because I don't know what track it is. And we're going into the Renault. It looks like I think it's the 2006 Renault, I believe. But we'll be jumping into for the final race event. Gordo has said 0-0 Italy win on penalties. We've got Austria coming up next, and we've got the 2006 R26 to choose from, I believe. So into the Renault everyone will go. Just wait for everyone to change their cars over. Into the 2006 Renault we're jumping into, so we're just waiting for Gordo to jump into the Renault, and away we can go. So once everyone is confirmed and ready to settle in, we've got a classic nice little 5-lapper in the 2006 Renault around Austria. Of course, I doubt it will be as boring as the real F1 around Austria, but we will find out. These guys can put on a good show, and will enlighten us and make us very happy to watch the classic Renault around the modern track of Austria. So yeah, waiting to see as everyone comes around, or everyone loads up rather, I should say. Waiting to see everyone jumping into the Renault and getting on with it and getting on a good race. It'll be a short one. This one, of course, the track is very short. I don't know exactly how many miles it is, but it's about 1 minute, 1 minute and 5, wasn't it, for race time in actual F1. So we'll be quite quick, maybe a bit slower in the classic cars, but we'll see what happens as they come across the line when they set their one-shot quali laps. But Ecos Spud there is just loading in. Once he's loaded in, we'll get underway with the one-shot quali. That's a lovely looking car, is that 2006 Renault, as Gordo has decided to drive off the circuit into a wall. Spud has retired as well. Dylan is somewhere on the track still. I should not say anything because it might jinx him. But Dylan doing a great job there of keeping the car in track limits, as the other two who have retired were not able to, unfortunately. But they're the top 7, or the 7 that are still running, of course. Still going strong around Austria, but it's nice to see the Renault back on our screens in F1. Of course, it's only for a classic 5 lapper, but it's a nice car to watch as well. I think Alonso was it, and PK Junior, I should say. I remember that Singapore race, which was very nice to watch. And around the final corner comes Dylan. But Curly Red puts it on pole position there with a 109.0, I think it was. Curly Red up into P1. Oh, sorry, putting it on pole in P1. Nigel in P2. Gurman P3. Dylan there in P4. Ayrton in P5. Gunnar, of course, consistently setting lap times as Gunnar, P6. Spud didn't set a time according to that. Welsh, Maldonado and Gordo were disqualified for invalidating their laps, I believe. Just waiting for the guys to load in, and then we'll crack on with the final race of the Classic 5-lapper event. The 2006 Renault around Austria for 5 laps is coming up in just a few seconds' time. But it's been a really good event. I think everyone who has partaken has done a great job. We've got 5 red lights for Austria, and away we go. Curly Red starting us off. He's got a bit squirrely off the line, as they've all gone, and we've got somebody in the Ferrari at the back just ruining the event. Thanks to them. But all the Renaults coming through nicely. So we've got a Gurman and Nigel setting off after Curly Red up into turn 3. They're going to go, and it looks like there's going to be almost 3 wide, 4 wide in the background there. But around the turn 3 they come. And everyone's done a good job there of getting through unscathed. Gordo into P4. Spud dropping down the order. I don't think Spud is in the race. Welsh Maldonado up into P5. Nigel and Gurman still right on the back of Curly Red, so he's not gonna have an easy race this time as Curly Red. They're round into sector 3. Round into sector 3, they come into turn 9 and 10. Making sure you can't go out that wide, Gurman. You'll get a warning for that for sure. As they come across the line, Curly Red, it's going to set the fastest lap of the race, of course, leading the way for lap 1. Nigel here is going to be slipstreaming all the way up into turn 3. on Curly Red. Is he going to be able to make a move this time around the outside of the pole position leader? Not quite. He's not quite made a move stick there. He was fastest in the first sector, but he couldn't quite make the move. So still in P2 for Nigel. Very close by the top three here. Gordo is in P4, but he is 1.5 seconds back off of Gerdman. So he's still looking at podium place if he can get a move on. But he's just a bit too far back as it stands at the moment. But still 3 laps to go when they finish this one. Dylan there picking up a time penalty there. 2 seconds for Dylan in P6 as it stands at the moment. So that's going to demote him down the order. Everyone really close together apart from Gordo, who's just dropping back, unfortunately, with a lot of pressure mounting on him from Welsh Maldonado. Curly Red there taking the fastest lap on lap 2, so he's trying to get away from Nigel, trying to get off into distance side by side into turn 1. Is not going to work there. Welsh Maldonado thought better of it and is now going to slipstream Gordo all the way up into turn 3. Is she going to have enough momentum to make a move on Gordo? And Gordo is defending to the inside. Round the outside comes Welsh Maldonado, banging wheels a bit there, pushing her off the track was Gordo there, and yeah, keeping this position. But I thought if that was on Sunday, the stewards would have given Gordo a 5-second penalty for sure there. Gerdman now putting more pressure on Nigel than Nigel is on Curly Red, so the roles are reversing a bit here. Nigel is maybe just a bit out of touch now from Curly Red as it stands at the moment, but still within the slipstream range. As these cars, they tend to have a good slipstream. As we got another overtake here, Welsh Maldonado on Gordo into the turn 7 and 8. But again, into turn 9, it's going to be very close, very tight. Oh, bit of contact there as well. But Welsh Maldonado has got that move into P4. I was going to say the slipstream works from about 7 or 8 tenths on these cars, because it's such a powerful tool for overtaking. Because there is, like I said, they're all equal. There's no DRS or ERS. So they can't use anything else apart from the slipstream to push their car along, to get their car increase their car top speed and make the overtake. So yeah, it's great to see even on the modern games that they've got the slipstream right for the classic cars as well, which is nice. Gordo there is trying to get the move on Welsh Maldonado, trying to get that P4 spot back. We've got Gunnar there, who is off in the background on the exit of turn 3. I'm not sure what happened to him there, but he's recovered back onto the track. Got a bit of a poor camera angle here, but he's still going, is Gunnar, so that's good. He's recovered back into the race. On lap 4 now we are, so we've only got 1 and a bit laps to go left. Gerdman there picking up a 2-second time penalty. That's going to impact his finishing position at the end of this race. He's not going to be able to finish any higher than P3, I don't think, as it stands, unless he can make some overtakes and get further up the circuit. On to lap 5 we go. Curly Red setting the fastest lap once again. Gerdman matching it, but of course he got that penalty during that lap to really will push him further down the order when the final classifications are taken into account. But Nigel there under pressure from Gerdman. He needs to get a move on and try and get past Curly Red if he can. Meanwhile, further back, Dylan is lining up a move on Ayrton. Dylan is lining up a move on Gordo. Down the inside goes Dylan, and he's made that move stick. Up into P5 is Dylan, but he's got a penalty there, so that will of course ruin his race at the end, I think, because he's going to have Gordo and Ayrton right behind him without any penalties. Side by side into turn 4 they go. Make sure you leave room on the exit, as we found out in Austria on Sunday. Dylan's still in P5, but Gordo battling away. Gordo up the inside. Ayrton flying through, and Ayrton's up into P6 there. I don't know exactly what happened there, but the braking zone for Ayrton was much easier than Dylan did, and he braking a bit early was Dylan, I think. There, Ayrton getting a 2-second time penalty, so that's going to impact his finishing result. Curly Red comes across the line in P1. Nigel in P2, setting the fastest lap of the race as well. Only a tenth behind was Nigel in the end. Gerdman in P3, Welsh Maldonado P4, Gordo, Ayrton, Dylan P6, P5, 6 and 7. Infamous Pillars in P8. Gunnar is going to come across the line in P9, and Spud is not in this race, unfortunately. So fantastic stuff there from everybody. Really putting on a great show for the whole event, I think. Everyone's done a fantastic job, and had a bit of fun in these classic cars, and it was great to watch, great to spectate. Gordo getting driver of the day there. I think he had a bit of a torrid time, but yeah, he's still got driver of the day, so well done to him. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us for the final post-season event. Of course, we'll have the inter-league event coming up on Saturday at 6 p.m. So that will be a 10v10 of the chosen drivers that have already voted in the announcements page. So they've been selected already, and yeah, hope you guys can come and support the guys who were racing. And obviously, if you are racing, you can put on a good show on Saturday at 6 p.m. as well. But yeah, fantastic stuff from everybody who's partaken in any event that we've done so far this in post-season. We've got the new Game of Force coming out in a week's time or so. So yeah, looking forward to getting going on F1 2021. And of course, the new ALR seasons will be starting in about 3 weeks' time or so, with the driver draw coming out in about 2 weeks. So yeah, stay tuned for that. All the information is in the announcements page on the Discord. So first of all, thanks very much for joining us. And yeah, second of all, we look forward to seeing you in the future events. Cheers. Bye.